Hey guys, I'm Michael Norman, Automation and Controls Engineer with Scott Equipment here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Today, I'm going to take a MAC JVL motor and I'm going to take an Ethernet IP communications module and show you how to convert it to a Profinet communications module. I will be using MAC Talk and a couple of cables to connect to the module to flash it, so it becomes a Profinet module. You can also reverse this process as well, as I will be showing in the video. Open up MAC Talk. Once you have MAC Talk open, and you should be able to see over on the right hand side under your inputs bus voltage 348 and your control voltage of 24 volts DC. Down here in the bottom right, you should have the identification of the motor and what COM port you are communicating on. Once you have verified all of this, you can also look at the drop-down menu here under the motor address, and you can see that we have the MAC00 Ethernet IP module in. If you were going to continue with Ethernet IP, this is where you would set up all of your Ethernet IP cyclical data setups and all of your IP addresses and subnet masks. But what we are going to do is take this module and change it to a Profinet module. So we want to come up to updates, click on updates. We want to update our firmware, and we will get a warning here that starting a firmware update will erase the old firmware. So it's going to ask us, are you sure that you would like to erase this Ethernet IP firmware? And of course, yes, we want to do that. Once this box pops up, this is our firmware update box, and we can click here under show all files. It will show all of the updates that are available for the motor that we have. Now the ones in red are not available for this particular module, but we can keep scrolling down until we see, you can see ModBus is available. So we could choose ModBus if we wanted to, but since this video is about Profinet, we're actually going to choose the MAC/MIS-EP Profinet 3.4 module. So we will highlight it, go down here and click Start. Basically right now it is erasing the Ethernet IP information, and this takes a little while. We're transferring data back and forth between the actual software file and the motor itself right now. And now we're about finished transferring the Profinet into the actual module. I'm going to do a little bit more transferring, and then our status should come up, and now it is actually writing it to flash. There we go. Now, once this process has completed, you should see under status the word done here in green, and then we go down here and simply click on done, and the motor will actually reboot, or the actual controller will reboot, and the module will come up. Now, a couple of things to look for again. I always check for my bus voltage over here to make sure I'm around 350 volts. And we are going to get some errors right here because we are not connected to a network, so I just disregard those. But definitely back over here, check your bus voltage, check your control voltage, and again, we're going to check that we are connected to the MAC00-E on COM5. Now, to actually do the checking to make sure it was flashed is if you'll come up here to this drop down menu all the way over to MAC EP Profinet. So therefore, looking at this is all of your Profinet data setup that you will need if you're communicating on a Profinet network. If you remember, before we actually flashed this module, this was actually Ethernet IP. This is the way to verify that the new module has been flashed from Ethernet IP to Profinet. Hopefully this will help you guys out. If you have any questions, please feel free to call me or call your local Scott Equipment account manager. Thank you. So, that was the whole procedure using MacTalk to take an Ethernet IP module, flash it, and turn it into a Profinet module. Hopefully you are able to gain some insight and knowledge on doing this. If you ever have any questions, give me a call at Scott Equipment Company in Charlotte, North Carolina.